Scott Bruce of Wisecracker Comedy Clubs. And what's going on, Mr. Scott? Good to have you on board, man.
Well, yeah, bored I am. No, on board I am. On board I am.
On board you are, man. On board you are. So listen, how is it, man? Being a funny guy, being able to jump right into it here, being able to be all over, books and television from the Daily Show on Comedy Central all the way down to the Pennsylvania Game Show. like your career spans many years, man.
I just can't seem to settle down.
It's all right. It's all right. It's all right.
The nice thing is, I've been a stand-up comedian now this is going on my 39th year.
Wow.
So it ain't like as if I'm new. But if you have a career that spans that length of time, you have a tendency to have your fingers in an awful lot of different weird pots.
Yeah.
And almost all of them come by accident, or you fall into them in the strangest ways. Like when I was hired to host the PBS game show, the Pennsylvania game, which is like a very eclectic game. It was really a blast. But I'm a Pennsylvania boy. I've lived everywhere in the state. I know the entire state like the back of my hand.
Mm-hmm.
So I was a real Pennsylvania freak, and I just fit in perfectly with the show. And as a result of that, I actually had a publisher contact me and ask me to write a book. I never thought about writing a book in my life. It wasn't something I even remotely thought of, and now I have 3 under my belt.
That's crazy. Yeah. It is funny how you say some things come by way of a mistake. My whole career has come. My whole life's a mistake, for Christ's sake, depending on who you talk to.
Well, let's call it a happy mistake.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I'm happy. I don't know. I feel like I got part of this in me now that I'm doing it that long that I'm just here to piss people off, and hopefully they have a little fun with it. That's all. I mean, because it's just the way it is, right? Just the way it is.
It is.
But it is all fun. But I'll tell you, for those of you, you got to check things out. You can go to Scott Bruce and find him anywhere. I mean, even if you just do a search, you're like everywhere, Scott. Like you're everywhere. Facebook, online, his resume, his bio. Been all over. Opened up for people, concerts and colleges. I mean, like. Rundgren and Warren Zevon and Dave Mason and Three Dog Night. I mean, you've been on board with so many people across the entire country. I mean, the entire nation.
I'll tell you, one of the highlights was Ray Charles.
Yeah,
opening with Ray Charles. It was we did 2 shows. The first night we worked together, and I didn't get to meet him before the first show.
Mm-hmm.
And in between shows, his manager came over and said, "Would you like to meet Mr. Charles?" I said, "Yeah." So he walked me and my wife into the room, and he said, "Ray, this is the young man that opened for you tonight. This is Scott Bruce." And he said, "I'm sorry I didn't get a chance to see you, but I heard you were funny."
My dad had speaking of Ray Charles,
blind Ray Charles,
the blind Ray.
He didn't seem he heard I was funny.
I know, and somebody just sent some emojis right here on my Facebook feed. You weirdos, they caught that right away. And Ray Charles, that had to be a highlight. My dad had him on a bus. My dad drove Greyhound bus out of New York City, and he had a private charter with Ray Charles and his entourage. So he said the same thing. What a great guy,
Just a pleasant human being.
Yeah.
I did about 10 shows with Richie Havens.
That had to be cool.
The most down-to-earth, fun-loving, easy-going guy ever.
Mm-hmm.
Well, next to me, of course.
Right. and me.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, you have so much going on. I mean, you've been all over. Like I said, Scott Bruce, and when you think funny, man, you think Scott Bruce. The the bio itself, the resume, the whole makeup of what has been done in his 39-year career has been really, really cool. A little shout out to his son Nick, who I touched base with not too long ago as well. Another great guy, man. And when did it all start? For you, 39 years ago. But let's talk a little bit about Wisecracker comedy clubs. How cool is the name? First off, which is great, man. You talk about a brand, man. That's a brand right there. When did that all start for you, man?
I want to talk about the brand name for a second, but I'll explain how it started first. Another happy accident. Basically, my kids, Nick was born in Brooklyn when we lived in New York. After Nick was born, we wanted to be outside the city, so we moved to Montclair, New Jersey. And after my daughter was born, Chloe, my wife decided she wanted to be closer to her mom, which is out here in the Poconos. Mm-hmm. So we moved out here because it didn't matter where I lived. They've got an airport and a highway. I can get to my gigs. Mm-hmm. So as the kids got old enough to go to school, Ann wanted a part-time job. And I said, well, let's open a little weekend comedy club, and that way I've got 2 more weeks a year that I can be home off the road, and you got a little job. 20 years later, we have a little mini empire of Wisecrackers comedy clubs around Pennsylvania.
That's great.
Just don't even know how it got. We not only book all the, have our comedy clubs, but my company also books all of the comedians that appear in the Poconos at the resorts like Cove Haven and Paradise Stream and Pocono Palace and all those places.
That's great.
So
I did not know that. That I did not know. Yeah, I did not know that.
The business has done real well. And then you were mentioning earlier about doing fundraisers and stuff. We do about 150 off-site fundraisers a year. I'm sorry, we do about 150 fundraisers a year. Many of them are off-site, like maybe a third of them, like at a fire hall here or a Lions Club there or a Blues Lodge or what have you.
Right.
Knights of Columbus.
Sure.
All of these different fundraisers. So far in our just under 20-year career of Wisecrackers, I haven't added it up lately, but I think we just passed the $1.5 million mark of money we've raised for charities.
Wow.
So we're really very proud of that. That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Now, Wisecrackers, how it got its name is so weird. We had this giant list, and I'm trying to be as creative as I possibly can. Mm-hmm. And my wife is from Hazleton.
Oh, okay.
And our first clubs were here in the Hazleton, Wilkes-Barre, Scranton area. And the derogatory term for people from this area was coal crackers. Mm-hmm. A pleasantly derogatory term. Mm-hmm. And that's kind of half of what I was playing off of with Wisecrackers and coal crackers.
Interesting. Yeah, it's
bizarre.
I mean, but how cool! I mean, it's like just totally on point. That is great. Wisecrackers comedy clubs, owner and comedian himself with a very long resume and bio. Scott Bruce, man.
We have settled into where our flagship club, our home base club, is at the Mohegan Sun Pocono Casino. Mm-hmm. In Wilkes-Barre, and that's been, we've been there now 6 or 7 years.
That's great.
And that's been a marriage made in heaven because, it's the perfect entertainment. You can go and have great meals at all fantastic restaurants up at that place. They've got Ruth's Chris and Pearl, Rustic Kitchen, all of these different dining venues, and of course the gaming, the horse racing. Mm-hmm. When you're not too busy, take them in and out and come down and see a comedy show.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, for real. And I'm on the website. You guys can find it there as well. Wisecracker Comedy Clubs. You throw it into a search, it'll come up with the locations throughout PA and, of course, the Mohegan Sun.
Are you on the website right now?
I'm on the Mohegan Sun one, yeah.
Wisecrackers Mohegan Sun or Mohegan Sun's one?
Let me get to Wisecracker
Go to
Comedy Clubs.
Wisecrackers,
Yeah,
wisecrackers.biz.
yeah, wisecrackers.biz, and then I can click on the Mohegan Sun.
Right now, when you click on any of the comics pictures,
Mm-hmm.
just click directly on the picture. It'll give you an actual bio of the comedian, a little video clip of them, all kinds of cool stuff right
Oh,
there
yeah.
on the website.
Yeah, very neat. I didn't get that far. I brought it up here, and I didn't get that far. I see that you have some guys coming up. Paul Spratt, Rob Ryan, Charlie Wiener. Now that guy just is funny right there as a headliner. I mean, with the last name Wiener. I mean that's funny in itself.
Charlie is hilarious.
That's awesome.
Yes, the name does fit in well. And he's from Cleveland.
Really?
My comedians come from literally all over the world. I've got comedians from England, Australia, Ireland. Very few foreign-speaking ones.
Mm-hmm. That's
you were looking at that. You just mentioned a couple of the guys that are coming up are going to be on the radio with you.
Yeah, and that's what's really going to be cool. We're going to have some of these guys, and I got to thank Scott, and I got to thank Dave Miller, Dave the Bookie. Almost sounds like it's illegal, but it works for this radio station and this show.
It works for me.
Yeah. And so Dave the Bookie hitting us up with Scott Bruce, who's on the phone with us right now, from the owner and comedian himself of Wisecracker Comedy Clubs, and it'll be awesome to have these guys on board. And like I said, anything we can do, man, to further promote, work together, and have some fun, man. I want to come up. We'll make it a point. I just got to get through the next couple of weeks. I've got this crazy cruise that I do every year, and take a bunch of people on a cruise ship, give them open bar, and let them, like, I don't know, just go crazy, make memories and babies or whatever they want to do. So I have that to get through the next couple of weeks, but after that, we'll have to get in touch with you too and come up and hang out for a show. I'd love it. But things that are going on with Wisecrackers, you guys got to get on there, wisecrackers.biz. Make sure you give them a like on their Facebook page. I mean, we've got thousands of people that are on board with this show right now. Get on board with the Wisecracker Comedy Club's Facebook page as well. Give them a like and a quick comment from the Colossal Posse as you are. Now, what else is coming up? I mean, you got Allentown, you got State College, Pocono Palace. That's the Screw Shack up there. It's nice though, but I mean, that's what they look at it. That's like the land of love.
It's the primary purpose of going there. It's hilarious to work there as a comedian.
Oh,
because
I'll bet.
They love to hold you off as late as possible, because as soon as they have all kinds of entertainment, they all bands and magicians and everything. But comedy's always one of the biggest draws.
Yep.
And boy, when that comedian is done, that room empties in a hurry. So because they paid for that room to do more than just laugh in the bar.
Here, I'll tell you a little story. We're on the phone with Scott Bruce, owner of Wisecracker Comedy Club. Let me tell you a little story about the whole place up there, the land of love here in the Poconos. So they have these heart-shaped tubs. So I happen to be in there, heart-shaped bed, the whole thing. I was not in the Champagne Tower. I didn't want to go into that one. We had this one love room, and they said, as you go in there, it's like you have the tub. Please, it's the bubbles, they're concentrated. Get all that. So we. The woman I was with at the time, I don't know. I think I just picked her up on the way up there. But this woman that I was with
later,
yeah, names didn't matter. I don't even know if I got her name right. But we ended up putting too much, obviously. Too much of the concentrated bubbles in this tub. And let me tell you something. Then we ended up going into the shower. They had one of these Swiss showers where you can like direct the spray to every part of your body, which was really awesome. And we come out of the shower. There is freaking bubbles everywhere in the goddamn room. Everywhere. There are bubbles as high as the bed. It was all over the room. We come out, and it's a true story. We come out, it's like there's bubbles everywhere. It's like, what the hell? They were on the bed, like they were just everywhere. And so we had a call, called the front, the office, the desk, the front desk. It's like, Look, we have a problem here. I think we put too much bubbles in the jets and in the heart shaped tub, and they said that's okay. It happens all the time. We'll send somebody right over. But it's a true story. There were bubbles everywhere. The bubbles, we came out of the shower, bubbles filled the entire flipping room. There were bubbles everywhere. Unbelievable. Oh, my God. Talk about an embarrassment that was, man. But
it sounds like a scene from Benny Hill.
yeah, it would be. It would be. But what else is coming up? Some great shows. And like you said, more about your entertainment. You have, some people. I'm going over the list.
We've got people lined up that are coming, and especially planning to get in touch with you. Jay Black is coming June 21st and 22nd. He's calling in with you on the 19th.
Yep.
Jay's an all-time favorite. Chris Monty, hilarious guy, Long Island kid. He's there on September, I think, first weekend of September. Dan St. Germain coming up in October.
It's great. Yeah, you got.
I have this real wonderful advantage in the world of the comedians that I bring in. It's a small community. We all know each other. Every comedian in the country knows every other comedian in the country. And when you've been around for 39 years, you know not only who's good and who's not good, you also know who's nice and who's not nice. So you come to my shows, you're going to see a hell of a show.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. As Scott just said, getting the people in there and having the experience, you're going to have one hell of an experience. And let me tell you, I like to laugh, man. That's all I know. I like to laugh. Let's talk a little bit about that as being just a comedian yourself and these others and some of these guys that are coming through the ranks, taking direction from you guys, where it is a small community where you see the comedians on TV, the Howie Mandels, who I know you met, worked with, and been on board with. How hard is it? Really explain to us when you start out how tough it is, because that is a tough gig. I mean, thank God for you. We laugh at you. We love it. But how tough? How tough is that gig?
It's tough.
Yeah.
It is really tough. The hard part is getting stage time to start out. A lot of people are funny, but there's a real big difference between being funny and being funny on cue when you have to. And no matter what else is going on around you, the waitress dropping a tray of drinks or a table of people that just won't stop talking, or when you're learning how to deal with all of those things that come up, it's one of the things that most people that are wanting to break into the business don't understand. You have to have a lot of stick-to-itiveness. My first advice to everybody is always this. Don't do it because you think you're going to be a star. Do it because you love doing it, and anything that comes after that is a bonus.
Right.
I mean, when I started off, I thought, if I could just make a couple of bucks doing this and get by, I'd be happy, because I just love my stage time. I just love making people laugh. It's just the greatest thing in the world to walk out of a room and have just a whole pile of people just say, that was fun. It's just a really good feeling.
Yeah.
But if you're doing it because you want to be, I've been very fortunate. I've been very successful by comedian standards, but who the hell knows who I am? I've never had a TV, I was never like a sitcom star, Tim Allen, but all of those guys are friends of mine, and they all came up with me, Tim Allen, Ray Romano, Brett Butler from Saving Grace, or Amazing Grace, show, Grace Under Fire.
Grace Under Fire, yeah.
But yeah, all the comedians, Drew Carey, they're all friends of mine. I've worked with all those guys. And,
that's great.
If you get lucky and you get that brass ring and it happens to fall in your lap, fantastic. But there's an awful lot of comedians out there that are that good that just never found that one last spot that they were looking for.
I guess. But you know what? In some sense of the word, look what you've done, and which has been really incredible. And now the owner of Wisecracker Comedy Clubs all over, and I mean it's so cool. It is so cool. I mean, I think there's a different level of success for everybody. I mean, I really do.
Yeah, I didn't mean to put it down in any way, shape, or form.
No, right. Mm-hmm.
That's the beauty of a lot of these comedians that are
Sure.
out there. A lot of the headliners that we're using,
Mm-hmm.
you might not recognize their name right off the bat, but these are guys and women that have had just fantastic success all around the world. I myself have performed in 46 states and 30 countries.
That's great, man. That is so cool.
Cruise ships, colleges. It's just that's the whole secret to success in comedy is stage time, getting up and getting out there and doing it.
Yeah, no, for real. Do you ever on a home front note, like does your wife ever say, "Oh, shut the hell up, you're not that funny"? Like, does she ever holler at you?
The fact of the matter is, my wife is funnier than I am.
Are you just saying that because you both share the same bed now yet, or what? Or is
no? The fact of the matter is, she's got this dry, clever sense of humor that I find amazing. She makes me laugh.
That's great. That's great.
I remember must have been 15 years ago, 10 years ago, we're riding in the car after we had stopped at McDonald's, and we were eating in the car, and she looked down and saw the sesame seeds on the seat between her legs, and she said, "Remember when these were pot seeds we were finding?"
That's hilarious. Yeah, right. And I can relate to that. That's fun. And so, she understands. I'm sure it wasn't all. I'm sure it wasn't all an easy ride being a comedian, since this is all you've ever done. And here she has rode the wave with you.
I have no idea how she put up with me. None.
Man, I'll tell you.
No clue.
Yeah.
Well, the only advantage, the only big advantage is because I was gone so much on the road, traveling and so forth. But when I was home, I was home.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I was home all day, all night with the kids, with the to help out, get things done around the house. So we made it work.
Yeah. No,
I got lucky. I got a good wife.
You find a way to make it work. When you have that team and you have that effort, and you're both on the same page together, you both become certainly invincible.
Probably the weirdest part of it was we're married 40 going on 42 years. I was not a comedian when we got married.
Oh, what were you?
I actually started a business, but down in State College, which is the town I grew up in. And I owned a small janitorial supply business and a chemical company.
Really?
Yeah, and I was successful with that, and I thought, well, if I can do that, I can do whatever I want. And I left my business. I kind of sold it to my father and my brother, and left and become what a proud father and son moment that was. You're leaving your business to do what? And of course, it was a little bit of a shocker to the wife.
Yeah. I've been down that road too. I've been down that road, with my first wife, and then my second. I don't know. I'm still trying to get it right, man. So, does the whole janitorial supply owner business thing make it into your routine? I can't see where it cannot.
Yeah, well, I can mop up jokes pretty good.
That's funny stuff. Listen, I think it's absolutely amazing. I see on the website too that you can take ticket orders, you can take things right online through wisecrackers.biz and do it right.
And you'll see there you can join our text club and get an immediate discount.
Yeah, I see that. Yeah, I see all that. I want to do. It would be fun to do take a small limo type bus with a couple of people from that listen and hang out with this radio station, and we make a trip up to Wisecrackers up there at Mohegan Sun, your flagship location, and come up there for one heck of a good time.
We have groups that do that all the time, and it's just a great way to, especially when you've got a driver and you can just be partying and having a good time.
Yeah.
come up, take in the casino, have a meal, have see a show, and geez, from your area, it's only about an hour's drive.
Yeah, it's not far. Yeah, it's not far. Actually, I think it's even less than that. You know, we jump on
Yeah,
the turnpike. It's less than that. So, a lot of neat things that are coming up. I invite you guys to get on board wisecrackers.biz. We're going to be doing a lot more. It was a great lead-in. Dave, thanks. Aileen, I know, is on board here with us as well, Dave's wife. But Scott Bruce, the owner of Wisecracker Comedy Clubs, and an illustrious career for real, knows everybody and everybody in that world, and it's going to be so great to work with you guys, with the with the people that you have coming, to whatever location. I mean, I'm here, and I don't know, use me. I mean, you might as well use me. Other people have. Other people
I'm looking forward to it. I want to use you and abuse you.
You can. I need somebody with the right sex to say that to me just once in my life. It does. I mean,
that would be nice.
It would be. Yeah. I mean, I can relate to what you want to do, but it just doesn't sound the same coming from you, Scott. That's all I can say.
I'll use my higher pitched voice.
That's too fun. Listen, so much good, so much fun we're gonna have with what this guy's gonna do and bring to the station, which I am. It's just another element that is coming here to Colossal Radio on behalf of Mr. Scott Bruce and Wisecrackers Comedy Club. So I'm totally stoked. What's on the when you're there? I know you're there at the club, unless you have a gig elsewhere outside. If you're on the road, but you do anything on stage to bring on the acts between you and your son Nick?
I am in and out depending on what I'm doing. Like for the past almost year, I have been taking a break from my own club because I was doing a lot of that, where I was emceeing every week and hosting and warming up the show, and that really helps the show to start it off with a pro to get things
absolutely
shaped up right.
Yep.
And I'm getting back into doing a little bit more of that. I still headline there a couple of times here. I think I'm headlining at Mohegan in September. Is the next time I'll be headlining there, and we'll talk again before that.
Yeah.
I still travel around. Monday, I've got to go down and do a corporate show for a bunch of tax people. I don't know what I'm doing. I got to make tax people laugh. How tough is that going to be?
That's I don't know. I mean, hopefully, I don't.
It's actually very easy.
Is it all right?
They're the best crowd. Yeah.
All right, that's good.
The tough ones are of a different mold. The people that take life too seriously.
Yeah.
Tax people are great because they have to take their job seriously. So when they're not at their job, they let their hair down.
That's fun, because I was gonna ask you that. The hardest people to perform for, and obviously I don't know what category they fall into, except that category that they take life too seriously. They're totally socially inept, and they don't even know it.
Yeah. That's
they don't know.
That's exactly the key. They don't know that they're not there.
No. I can look at them and tell they're not there, but they don't know they're not there.
The greatest place to perform in the world. It's funny how you're going to hear this and think it's so bizarre. I love working small towns. Small towns in the middle of nowhere, because they're so grateful that you came. Yeah. They're just like the best audiences in the world.
Yeah.
Second only to the greatest audiences in the world now and probably forever, Las Vegas, Nevada. Las Vegas, the people come to Las Vegas for two reasons. They come to see shows and they come to gamble. And they know that all of the people that play in Las Vegas don't make it to Las Vegas unless they are good. So the audience walks in the door knowing they're going to see a great show.
Yeah.
And then all you have to do is deliver it.
Yeah.
But it's amazing. It's like a tie between that and the show I did a couple of weeks ago in Grove City, Pennsylvania, which is if you don't know where Grove City is, it's about halfway between Pittsburgh and Erie.
Okay.
Nowhere.
No kidding. And was it good or not good?
It was fantastic.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's great.
Small towns are they're just a ball.
That's great.
It's just such a pleasant. From a performer standpoint, it's just heaven.
Yeah, right. I've done enough jobs on the road, and I can agree with you. You know, it's you get the small town people that are in there, the blue collar people that they get it and they know how to have fun and they work hard, but they're grateful for whatever you bring to the table and they have fun with you, which is great. The only place in question was West Virginia, in the mountains of West Virginia. That was kind of like freaking. That was kind of like spooky, man. I don't know. I had a road manager at the time by the name of Duber. If that explains it all, right there. And he ended up getting me. Yeah, he got me a gig in West Virginia, somewhere in the. It's like I don't like I felt like this. This is what I felt like this right here, like I had deliverance music going on. That's what I was like, man. This is like freaking crazy. They paid well, but it's like, why am I in the middle of deliverance? I'm waiting for the people to come out of the mountains, going, you know, you should have a pretty mouth. But you know, I am so looking forward to. So looking forward to working with Wisecracker Comedy Club, with Colossal Radio, and all the people you have coming in and out of that place. And like you heard Scott say, you know, he knows the game. Look at this. Look at Wisecracker Comedy Clubs as your Las Vegas around this area, because you know the entertainment that is going on in there are top-notch people.
It's the exact same people that you would see in Las Vegas.
That's great, man.
Exact same comedians.
That is great.
And it is for those of you listening out there that haven't been, Mohegan Sun Pocono, if you were to be dropped into the middle of that casino without knowing where you were, you would swear you were in Las Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
The place is just beautiful. It's just so nice. The hotel is fantastic.
It is.
The summer horse racing, what a great way to spend an afternoon. Go out and have a couple of beers and put a couple of bucks on a buggy and horse going around the track. It's a ball.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And like I said, take a break, watch a comedy show. It's just a really nice location and a lot of fun. And to see all of Colossal Radio.
Yeah, for sure. We will. And I've been there. You know, I've been there on many occasions. Love it. Quick drive, and we're gonna do. We'll do a Colossal Radio night too. Get a hold of Scott and have some fun. Take some of you with us in a small bunch. And I might know one or two people that might have one of those really cool limo buses that would serve us some drinks. I don't know. I think I even have one that has one even has a pole in the middle. I think.
There you go.
That's the one I want.
Make sure that's occupied.
that's the limo I want.
Using and abusing you.
Yeah, maybe I can find somebody to go. Listen.
Hey, you get together a group and you give me a call privately, and I'll set you up with a discount for a nice little group to bring them up and have some fun.
Listen, I'll take you up on that most certainly. And like I said again, Scott Bruce, owner and comedian, and an illustrious career, Wisecracker Comedy Clubs. Find all the information there. Please, those of you that are online, give them a like on Facebook. Give them a quick comment from all of us here at Colossal Radio. And I am so stoked, man. I am so stoked that we were able to touch base. And even if it was again, since, I don't know, our paths might have crossed somewhere down the road, but I am very, very grateful. You, your son Nick, your family, Wisecracker Comedy Club's family, to have you on board with the station. And, carte blanche, man. If there's anything I can do for you guys, let me know. Reach out to me through myself, through Dave, whatever, and we'll get it done here for you. But looking forward to having the guys come on board here in the next week or so with all the acts that are coming in. We'll highlight them on the show for sure.
Thanks, Doc, and good luck with everything down there.
Thanks, man.